Okay, so this is a recipe is called pasta con zucchine e gamberi. So gamberi means shrimp, and so I'm going to use these as my ingredients. Using some extravergine olive oil, some spices. I'd rather use fresh herbs, but I don't have them, and I wanted to use stuff that people can find easily in an American kitchen. So onion powder, some parsley flakes. This is a kind of a dried vegetable type of base. It's called vegeta. You can use also maybe like dice, for the base, um, and some chopped chives. I'm using a short type of pasta like this penne with two ends, penne. Um, you want to pronounce it in a harder way. And these are whole wheat pasta. These are zucchini that are already cut, some of them with this kind of shape, very relatively small chunks. And I'm using 3 zucchini for about 2 or 3 people. These are the shrimp that I took the shell. In some recipes I like to use the shells because it gives actually some additional flavor when you cook the shrimp with the shells, but for this recipe I'm just using them without shells, and I already cut them in small little pieces. The next step is to put the garlic, so I put like 2 cloves of garlic. I cut them in this, not too small but not too big either, and I'm going to add some olive oil. I'm going to be a little bit generous with the olive oil, and I'm going to cook them kind of medium temperature until the garlic becomes golden. Garlic is cooking and getting kind of a brown golden type of color, and you can also smell it when it's kind of ready. While it's doing that, we add a bit zucchini. So I already cut all the zucchini. I'm going to add them. So we want to add them before we add actually the gamberi, the shrimp, because they are going to require a little bit longer cooking. And what we are looking for is them changing color, becoming kind of a little bit softer. In Italy, we tend to cook our vegetables longer. We don't use usually crunchy vegetables. We like to cook them a little bit until they become softer, in particular for sauces. Some people even grate them completely or put them in a food processor where they become almost like a cream. You can do that. I like them to cut in small chunks. So we're coming back later when they are cooked. At this point, while the zucchini are starting to change color, you can add some of the spices, like some of these veggie mix, the onion powder, some pepper, salt, some parsley flakes. Be careful with herbs. I like to just put a little bit of anything, never too much. So just to give a little flavor, but you don't want to overpower your cooking with spices or herbs. This is one of the things I noticed in American cuisine when I came here. Like we put too much parsley, for example, in the dry parsley, in this American way of cooking the tomato sauce, and it becomes bitter. This is one of the things, first thing I noticed when I came here in the United States. Anyway, So just put a little bit of spices, herbs of different kinds are good here. If you have fresh ones, even better. Um, and pepper, salt, taste if you have the right flavor. Um, and we're coming back when it's time to add the shrimp. It's time to add the shrimp. Um, so I'm going to add all this shrimp. I use like probably a pound of shrimp. And I'm going to mix it with zucchini. And you want to cook them until, of course, they change color, they become softer. You don't want to overcook them. I apologize, my camera is kind of going slowly, I think, because in terms of frames, because it's the phone is running low in terms of battery, but hopefully we can finish the video before that happens, before it turns itself off. Okay, next time, this is my first video for showing Italian cuisine, so hopefully my next ones will be better. And I'm now also being my own cameraman, so it's a little complicated. Alright, so we're going to let these, I'm going to raise the temperature a little bit higher, and now I'm using electrical stove. It's be much better to have this is what I have in this place. Okay, so we will come back when the sauce is a little bit closer to be done. Okay, so next, this is an ingredient which is not mandatory, but I like to give some color to this dish. I'm putting some cherry tomatoes, like 10 of them, something like that, and I cut them in half, add them, mix with the rest. And now at this point you can add the shrimp have and the vegetables have water, so there is some water in the dish, but we can add like maybe a little bit of water and let it cook so it doesn't become dry. Now it's time to start to cook the pasta. I'm boiling the water. In Italy we usually put coarse sea salt, like we call it sale grosso, big chunks of salt. I have difficulty in finding that, so I'm usually skip that step, and I'm actually making my sauce a little bit more salty than it will be in Italy, because I'm not making the pasta salty. I don't want to put like a normal fine salt. Okay, but you can do that if you want. So I'm cooking my pasta. I let it cook, and the main secret of cooking pasta is having the pasta al dente. And what that literally means is you take the pasta when you think that it starts to change color, is a little softer, and you put it under your tooth. You actually bite it, and if it is a little bit harder, it's still eatable, but a little hard. It's kind of an art to say when it is right, but you can feel it. It's still not really crunchy, but hard. It's not mush like a lot of pasta is served here in the United States. Then it's ready. And in fact, it's a little for a sauce like this, where what we are going to do in the end is actually dry the pasta, right? Taking the water a little bit, even a little bit earlier. So it still needs some little cooking. I'm going to put the pasta directly in the sauce and mix it. That is another thing that is not done often in the United States, where you just put the sauce on top of the pasta. We usually always mix the pasta with the sauce as the proper way of doing it. You just don't put the sauce on top of pasta and serve it. You mix it, and many times we do it while the sauce is still cooking, and we put it in the pan and let it cook, finish cooking, maybe for even 30 seconds, a minute, and then in that way the pasta serves better the sauce, the flavors of the sauce. So the pasta, this is all wheat pasta, so it will take a little bit longer to cook. When it's ready, I'm going to mix it, okay? And so we'll come back for that step. So now we are going to dry the pasta. So we are going to, I already tasted it and it's a little bit too soft, but that I want it. It's good. And we are going to let it cook for a few minutes inside the pan. There it is. Did a mess. Oh, sorry for that.